Okay, so we're gonna go straight into the story trailer. We're definitely going to go thoroughly into this. That's why it's not going to be as long of a thing, but we're definitely going to go thoroughly deep into this. And basically, I'm going to use some of these clips of me going over it and basically using that for the future video. Though, the funny thing is, I would like to point out, it was the funniest shit. I love how basically everybody so far is now starting to, is either going to be very salty on how great that it's coming out to be, this game. And this is still if, because we don't know until the game fully comes out, if we literally, on release, that the game actually plays very well, besides story, you're going to see so many salty people that just don't want to give in. And it's funny on Twitter, because, or other social medias, that it's just fun at this point to troll people and actually have a good time. Because otherwise than that, you'll actually end up in the hospital due to so much stressful situations that people's responses actually are. And it's just a funny thing. But yeah, basically other than that, let's get into it. As far as I go any more tangent. Why isn't... Okay. Make sure. Okay, so it should be good. So these are the cocos, or the cocos, because it says cooing. So that's just great. This part's been killing me when I did see it, where Sage is talking to him.
Actions endanger the world.
No. Literally just no. So we see him running through this. We literally have Sky Sanctuary, Green Hill. Literally, there's new freaking the open world, the islands. There's more of that we get to see. Then we actually get to see that Amy's actually captured.
Amy? Is that you?
Which looks like a data ball or something. That's basically new from what I saw. Like, these are looking great. Like, all the... And it's literally saying Secret Agents. That is really crazy what's happening to his arm. Basically the same coding thing that's going on with Sage. And then we actually see that thing again. Forge a new frontier. And November 8th. We finally got the actual flipping release date, which is November 8th. Which, the reason why I know people would be like, oh, that's too soon. Personally, for me, the reason why I am agreeing that these people are getting, that they are doing this, is literally one and only because they're not listening to the fans too much. You know, I feel like they're really going through with it, and they're actually sitting there saying, bro, let's freaking do this. They're confident. And that's what it seems to me. Because before, there were so many issues with, should we release it, should we not, blah, blah, blah. Then you get things like the 06 treatment. Then you get other things like the Sonic Colors Ultimate thing, where you can tell they're not confident. But with Iizuka, I think we know for a fact when he is confident. And I think they are confident with November 8th being the release date. And then, of course, there's the pre-order boxes, which, by the way, I saw a lot of people saying that pretty much by now they figured it out, that the Sonic Frontiers pre-orders, it's not just the systems, it is on Steam as well. If you go to the actual Sonic Frontiers website, it is actually there. So that's what's there too. And now we just saw that you apparently, if you pre-order it inside your local GameStops or other gaming stores, there should be a steelbook with it. But I already know in the EU region, okay, I guarantee they're going to get a bigger pre-order thing. I have just a big feeling about that. So, yeah. Otherwise than that, then there's a Sega logo at the end with the eyeball. So let's kind of like dive into the deep part of it. So obviously we get Goku. There seems to be an ancient that's going to attack it. And then Sonic saves him.
Submit. Your reckless actions endanger the world.
So, The thing is that I actually like how Sage is looking. What kind of kills me though is that Sage kind of looks like a little bit like me, which is the funny part because it has the red and the black outfit, but the red is obviously because of her data thing. So I thought that was actually kind of hilarious how coincidentally Sage would be looking like me. But either way, I'm wondering what she's trying to what she means by this. That if she means the world that he's on, or the world in general of like the universe. So that's a big thing we're gonna attack. And I do like how
Submit.
this thing here is next to her, that she's with it. So these are like the elite henchmen, I guess, of the
Your
ancients.
reckless actions endanger the world.
So Sonic says no. And so basically from these basically that what they call it, the cyber worlds. So these cyber worlds, where we're basically call this the cyber towers, that's going to lead Sonic into it. Maybe basically that every time he goes in here, it's probably doing something to their world, which is why Sage is telling him that. But also, it seems to encrypt in their coding, their data. So maybe that's why Sonic gets the data. Like you see his arm glowing the same type of red, black dating coding color. Because I think I guarantee every time he goes into these worlds, it's affecting him. But he has to do it to probably try to save Amy, Knuckles, and Tails, and whoever the two other mysterious characters are, whether it might be Big and Shadow. So basically, I think this is a Speed Highway that I'm telling it, which I feel like it is. We definitely know this is the Sky Sanctuary, which, to be fair, like, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, they're reusing levels, blah, blah, blah. I'm in agree. I really wish they brought back other levels like Radical Highway and White Jungle. SA2 levels, SA1 levels would be good too. Hell, I mean, let's go back and see, like, because here's the thing. When you look at, like, the Seaside Hill from the Sonic Heroes and how they put it inside Generations, it was pretty cool, but again, we see so much of these other stages that, again, ones that we don't see would be cool to see. But like I said, one reason why I can give this a positive note, the only positive note, is that it looks really different. Okay, because when you look at it, if we like slow it down, literally like slow it the hell down, this really looks like very different. Because it's all broken up and I guess in different data aspects. And we probably get to see like other routes for it. Same thing with Green Hill, since it's all up and over the place. So there's that as well. Basically, actually, let me mute this because what I want to do next is that I want to get to the yes, this is what I want to get to. So basically, what's really cool here with the islands that we're getting to, the islands seem so damn like more in it now, basically, because from what we saw from the earlier builds, or however builds you guys want to talk about how it was, there looked like there wasn't a lot in it. But from here, there looks to be a lot more. Still kind of open space, but again, you need open space for him to run. Okay, especially when you have the little missions that are on the islands. Trust me when I tell you, you're gonna want more space. If you put everything in there that blocks from his running, it's gonna get annoying. So then they have basically the wall things where Sonic can climb up the walls. It's gonna do the rails. He's bouncing off. Okay, the bounce pads. There's things like this, which I thought was pretty cool, which is probably part of a side mission thing. Okay, then we go into the actual trailer of, the cutscenes, which I think the cutscenes are looking very good, which I'm like, see, this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that what we're seeing here are what the actual, every time we get to a cutscenes, they're going to look like this. I really don't, like, okay, if some in-game cutscenes are there, I won't mind, but I want to see cutscenes like this in-game. That's the whole thing. I want to see this. And I know people were asking, but when I saw Roger Craig Smith retweet like, oh, let's get ready, or it's time, or I forgot what he said, more than likely that is his voice. It's just the tone has been changed, and people were trying to basically already confirm that it was his voice the tone of it is just different, which I think is going to be very different because, again, you're so used to hearing Roger Craig Smith just nothing but joke around and everything, right? So I think this is a good thing for him to change voice. So what people said, oh, Roger Craig Smith can't really do a serious tone or everything. Well, now we're going to see it. And already, it sounded pretty good.
Amy, is that you?
More of these things which look pretty new. So now we're gonna go slow this down again, mutes, and we're really gonna look at how more. I want to see how more fluent the animations are. It's so funny how he does this whole thing where he literally goes like, wee, and then he goes right in there. So going back, flows right into the punches. So the animations are looking a lot more fluent than what we saw. This attack looks really fucking sick. This was new that I didn't see. Where it looks like he's doing, almost like he looks like he's doing he's trying to begin like a Sonic Tornado thing, like how we had, where the blue tornado was in Sonic Heroes. And it really looks like that. But he's literally just doing a disc, and I basically like, that looks really cool. And if you notice, there's these like small blue things that come out of the crate. See right here. Perfect pause too. Look at that. So it looks like a blue, or almost looks like a blue balloon that's filled with water. But I think that's the experience points, I think. Not too sure. But basically you get out there. This looks like some sniper agent. Because look at the laser. It literally looks like a gun thing. So then we got the orbiting that I think we saw in one trailer before. Yeah, I think we saw in that really quick trailer where it showed Sonic running that's following that boss that builds up the road, the data road. So I think we saw the same thing there. So now we get to see it in a better light where he literally gets these literal like looking. How many balls is that? What is that? That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like literally got like 10 Rasengan balls and literally just shoots them out, which I think is very interesting. Again, we're showing a lot more Sonic's powers. This looks cool. So these look like basically in other hack and slash games like Devil May Cry or anything, where basically you have to beat the villain to basically get out of it, which I think is cool. And this looks like a golem type ancient thing. So then we see the flurry kicks things again. So here you go. Now we're seeing like, so basically Sonic's whole thing here, where basically his arm is filled with the same data that you see from Sage and these ancient creatures, which is the whole red and black thing. So again, like I said, I think by him going through the cyber levels, he's basically getting corrupted by this data somehow. I think that's my theory of what they're going with. So, and then, or maybe every time he kills them, maybe that could be a thing too.
You cannot run forever. Leave immediately.
So that's another thing too. She seems to be a boss, but she's still giving him these warnings over and over and over again, where a lot of the other villains kind of just want to bash him in and hurt him on many degrees. Sage seems to tell him, like, just please forget it, please get out of here, okay? What you're doing is hopeless, and what you're doing is destroying the world. But again, Sonic's still saying fuck you because he probably has to save his friends. Tries to punch Sage. Sage has some berry things. She DPs out, says fuck you all. And then we see that basic thing that we saw from the cutscenes, this big, mega, colossal ancient. Okay? Which maybe, again, is possibly the last final boss from that earlier leaks that we saw. Again, I think this is great. I think this is looking so damn well. I want to see these cutscenes in the game. The other thing was... What was it? The other thing I want to quickly still examine, again, is just like... when you're looking at... So basically, when you're looking at all these other levels where I know a lot of people are still bitching about the open spaces in the air where you just have these rails that are just kind of floating there is kind of stupid, which I get. It is kind of a little bit, out there. But it's probably implementing all the type of, like, maybe parkour that you can do or how fast you can do it. Oh, right, I forgot to move that. So, again, we have a spring over here. Now we have this, black kind of shape thing that seems to be like some ramp thing that probably, again, I don't know, because with all the movement that he's doing and the kicks and the punches, I don't even know if this is like going to be spin dash. Realistically, I have no idea. But if we look over here, look what's happening over to the left of this, okay? When we get around, look what's happening to that spring. It's going like up and down. You see that? It looks like a false spring. Like, what the fuck is that? It literally looks like a false spring that basically if you try to go in it, it runs away from you. So I don't know if it's an enemy at all, you know? So it's really interesting. So I want to also grasp here how these enemies look like they were about to run away. Look, they're actually doing look, this is literally beginning to look like the Naruto run from these minor ancients there. This area here, because this is the whole desert island here, has a lot of these freaking rails popping up around. Rings in a straight line. You got these rocks that are cornering over like right here. Again, I feel like there's so much to these islands that we're gonna get to explore that, man, I just can't wait. Because like I told you, the biggest thing about me for this game, which I've said already, is that I literally want to do nothing more that after I beat the story of this game, it's just exploring it and constantly just running around as Sonic. Where some days where I feel like maybe down, I just want to sit there and just be running. I'm actually gonna do like some just chatting streams where literally I'm just gonna be running around as Sonic on the islands, literally just running around, avoid enemies and literally just running around. Because that's been like one of the biggest things about Sonic that I've always wanted in one of the games, is that where you have an open world that you can run left, right, straight, angled, didn't matter. And that's what I wanted, where a lot of these fan games basically have explored on doing. So basically, one of the biggest things about 06, that when you play P06, the fan iteration of it, when you go through the hub world that they actually other people did to create on it, that they added their own mod to that P06. Basically, when you're running around in that hub world, it felt so nice. It wasn't big because again there were so many buildings. You basically only run in certain areas with the road there, with the building want to connect. But again, it was still fun and nice. But that's all you got was that hub world. The fact that we get to fully run around as Sonic is what I feel is the big grasp that we were missing, because when you have the whole game based on linear levels, even with SA1 and SA2, how big some of the worlds were, you still have to get to a goal. This one you don't have to. You can just keep running around. And I think that's what the greatest thing about this game to me is. So there's got a bunch of shit going on back here. Like, look at that. Whatever's going on here is fucking nuts. I want to see how crazy this goes. There's that false spring again. Whatever this area is looks sick. This is the first island. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to go over with this. This whole level here is really crazy to me, because there's so much, and I hate every time that the other levels look great. For here, it's always fuzzy, I guess because of the speed and everything that's going on, because I'm literally on 1080, but anyway. So what's crazy, I again, it looks like your speed highway, okay, and it's just there's so many roads going on everywhere that I'm pretty sure it's just a central road that you're following and going straight. But I still think it looks great. Because like when he goes off of the rings here, right? I wonder if you can just land on that road and keep going. But from here, he seems to be passing and going to the next trick ring. Okay, and then basically, like I said, the Sky Sanctuary area looks a lot different. So we're probably gonna see some other side of it. And here's the thing: if it looks completely different, I'm fine with that personally. Like if it's not the same. Like here, this looks, and I have to say it, but the way it's going, it looks basically like how Sonic Forces was doing the Green Hill in the beginning before you got to the whole sand part, right? But if they change how the roads are and the pathways that you're going, basically, if that's all different, then I'm good with that. You know what I mean? This is what I'm like pretty much good with. That to me looks great. And then there's these things here. God knows what the hell these are. It's probably a thing to another puzzle. And again, yeah, there's so much going on that I really personally like that's happening. And I just can't wait. I really can't wait. I'm so glad that November is the thing. If they do decide to go back and say December instead, sure, I'm okay with that too. You know, either way, when you think about it, it's let's just say, you know, because August is almost over. Let's start with September. September, October. Am I stupid? I'm probably stupid because September, October. No, I'm right. Basically, when you think about 2 months, if it's November, it's 2 months away, with it also being November 8th, beginning of the month, which are my favorites. And then basically, if it's December, then it's 3 months away. So, I'm super stoked. I'm super excited. I can't wait to go through this game. It's going to be so many hours on this game, you have no idea. Oh my fucking god. But yeah, and here's the thing too. What I've noticed. When we play in regular speed, going through all of this, I think that the cutscenes are great, but in game wise, I think it's looking fantastic. I think it looks much more polished. Really, really much more polished. Okay? Like, all this here just looks so much more polished. I'm sorry, but it does. And they're only going to use the next 2 months to do the same thing because, again, maybe an American works and the way the Americans do their work ethic, they'll probably think, look, we're good, we can rest for these 2 months. Let me tell you something. You think Izuka's gonna let that slide? No, man. They're going to fucking tell them, no. You're gonna go back in that coding. You're gonna check to make sure that there's the least amount of glitches fucking possible. You're gonna polish whatever needs to be polished. He is going to go on their butts and literally fucking make them work their asses off to make sure. Because his work ethic is most likely different from the way Sonic Team has been doing their work ethic as of recently, you know. So I'm really happy about it. I'm really glad with everything that's going on. And I honestly just, again, I don't care about the way other people have been describing it. I don't care about their opinions. I'm gonna try to enjoy it. And if it's not as great as I said it was, then I can admit it. But you know what's the one thing it's not gonna be? I know it's literally almost impossible for it to be a complete and utter fucking disappointment. Realistically, because of how the story's going, how this is and that. But I can't confirm that for 100%. I can only say that at the least amount that it is at least going to be. To me, I feel the worst it could get is a 6 out of 10. That's the worst I think you can get, 6 out of 10. It won't go below that. That's how I feel. And if they are, it's just people who are petty and always say they Sonic games. Plain and simple. And I think the best score it can get, if the story really pans out to be really fucking good, you know, not just great, but like really fucking good, I can say that it's going to get like an 8.5. I don't want to say 9 out of 10 because I'd have to fully play it to see if I give it a 9 out of 10. You know? Because then I have to compare it to all Sonic games to even think about going to 10 out of 10. I'd have to give it to all that shit. I would have to compare it to all Sonic games, which it'd be kind of hard, realistically. But so yeah, the most right now that I'm saying, 8.5 out of 10. But what they may say is 9 out of 10. Who knows? But for my personal review, my personal score, I'll tell you after I play it. So one more time, we're going to play this fucking trailer. And I'm probably going to end the stream from there because I'm going to work on a script to actually do an actual video and get different footage and everything like that.
Hi.
I noticed one thing. It almost sounded like it said hi. I know it says Kui, but
Hi.
it almost sounded like it said hi. And by the way, I love the Kokus, or what do you want, the Cuckoos? I love them. And what my theory was, because I was asked by someone I know that they said, what do you think they're going to be for? Or do you think they're really just going to be there and as the cutesy things? I personally think that they might be collectibles that you find and they're very hidden, and there might be like 100 of them between all islands. Or maybe they can make it for a certain amount for each island. And if you collect it, you get stuff. That's the thing. The one thing that would be a biggest disappointment, as I've heard other people say before that I do agree with, a big disappointment and a big letdown would be the fact that this is an open world game with, again, confirmed 5 islands by Sega themselves. They said 5 islands. or Sonic Team, however you want to say, that there are no collectibles besides the heart things and other stuff. Like, if there's not actual collectibles to get that unlock certain things, that to me would be a big disappointment, a big letdown, I would say. Otherwise than that, yeah. So
Submit. Your reckless actions endanger the world.
by the way, I also do like Sage's voice. I think it's really good. I still think I'm calling it that. She's Infinite's, like, it's part of Infinite's coding, or Infinite's, like, weird, somehow daughter or something. Now, could you imagine that being a twist that Infinite comes back, like, bruh? Still looks fantastic.
Amy, is that you?
They weren't that far, Sonic, please. But yeah, again, and the fact that we're getting different islands was my happiest moment to know. Because I would say there's got to be more islands, but that they confirmed it, yes. I'm happy about it. But again, it's finally that if what Iizuka said that for the next 10 years, this is what we want out of Sonic games to be, like this is the gateway keeping to the next 10 years of Sonic games, that they're going to understand that Sonic can do jokes, but give it a serious story because he can do that. Because again, you're saving the world. Saving the world is not some lighthearted thing. Okay, again, you can crack jokes because Sonic's character does do that. But the whole tone of it is always has to be serious when it comes to saving the world thing. I mean, again, look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man is that exact thing, right? Spider-Man is that literal exact thing that's what he does, is literally saving the world. And even though he's fighting bosses and stuff, and you know, all his villains, okay, it's literally that he is making jokes half the time. But then when it gets so serious, he gets serious. Hey, but people love Spider-Man. But why? Because the story always remains a heavy tone. You know, first you got your lighthearted bit, but then you got the serious part. Again, it's always there. So, Sonic is like that same type of character. Okay? Same kind of thing. So, we need to understand that what Sonic does all the time is literally go through this thing, saving the world, and the serious tone. And I'm hoping, I know for the fact that Iizuka must be feeling that way. That's my personal opinion. I feel that that's what he's doing. So, again, so that's pretty much it. Overviewing it, I was happy today. Definitely happy today when I saw it at my work. And I wanted to analyze it. And possibly in the video, I'll analyze a little bit more things. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to get on this. I'm going to try to get this video out as fast as I can. You know, and definitely, like, when I'm not streaming, which would be on, like, during the weekend, that I literally will take that time and make sure to get it out then. Because, again, with it, it's not going to be too many crazy edits, so it should get out. I just want to get my opinions, my theories, all in it, so nobody can ever tell me shit that I wasn't saying that, blah, 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 blah. No, This Hedgehog is going to say that this Hedgehog game, okay, is going to be something, it's going to be an experience. I just don't know what yet. So, but yeah, so thanks to everyone who came. I appreciate it. It was short, and I will see y'all tomorrow.